Hey there, how there, ho, there's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming to yet another Stone Cold Hockey WHA video. Did I say it right? I don't know. But anyway, 72-73 season. We have ourselves a fight in the East. We look Cleveland and New England are basically the class of the East. The Cavaliers. I knew I would say that. The Crusaders with the legendary former Boston Bruins goalie Jerry Cheevers, and New England with their own group of former Leafs, lots of former Leafs, and Al Smith being the star goalie. With New York in third at 70 points and Philly fourth at 67, it looks like it's going to be New York and Philly that will steal those two spots, and Quebec and Ottawa will be watching from the sidelines. In the West, Houston looks like they're the class of the West, with Winnipeg and Alberta fighting tooth and nail for that two slot to host the playoff series. It's probably be them against each other. LA leads Minnesota by 4 points. Chicago's down by 10. The goal scoring lead right now looks like Ron Ward is going to be the champion of the goal scorer, 61 goals in this thing. Gary Fenarusso, 53. Denny Lawson and Wayne Carlton are one goal short of 50. Tom Webster's two short of 50. Points wise, under the WHA leads Ward by a point, with Bobby Hall third. So Ward's trying to be the goals and the points leader. Points, penalty minutes, just for the heck of it. John Scella, 216 penalty minutes for Houston. He's number one. Tom Gilmore, 20 goals, but yeah, he has 198 penalty minutes for second. Jim Cardiff of Philly has 179 for third. Cheevers the best goals against average with Russ Gillow and Mike Curran behind them as cats are meowing in the background. Each team plays 78 games. Cleveland and New England have 9 games left, whereas LA, Winnipeg, and New York only have 6 left. If headed to this Saturday of action. Points percentage kind of tells you these things. Philly does have 2 games in hand on those pesky Raiders, trying to get that 3 slot and to face New England. I don't know if you want to face New England or not. You could. Quebec's 11 back. They have 8 games left, so they have 16 possible points and 11 back of Philly. So they're almost all but out. Well, I mean, look at their home record, 23, 11, and 1. Pretty good. The 4th fewest home losses. Cleveland, New England, and Houston are the only teams. But when you look at the road record, yeah, you look at that right side, 3 wins. Only New York has fewer than 10 road wins. That's what separates them. You take their 12 games above 500, you probably put them in second or third in the East based on that. But the road record's pathetic. 26 games below 500. Whew. For the West, right now it is a dogfight. Alberta does have 2 games in hand on Winnipeg. You know, Alberta, the former name of the Edmonton Oilers. So the Oilers are trying to catch Winnipeg for second and get home ice in that series. Minnesota does have a game in hand on LA, but only one. Some cuts are being, but she'll probably put into the camera. You're gonna need an apology? Nope, she will not be an apology. Sorry for that. Yeah, everyone will play 78 games. Highlights, a lot of hat tricks, 51 in total. We've had some 4 goal games, like Gary Ferruso had some 4 goal games. Have we seen a 5 goal game by anyone? No, that's 4 goal game. Most memorable game right now is Houston Ottawa December 3rd when Houston wins 8-7. Chicago Ottawa when it was 7-6 November 23rd. Second most memorable game. And then Ottawa Minnesota February 15th. Minnesota coming back from 4-0 down to win in overtime. I'm actually surprised that the Houston Philly game, that last video, is not there. I mean, Philly was up 4-0, and Houston scored 5 straight goals. And they put it, and the Fangraph puts it at 33 below the top 5. Winnipeg, Alberta, November 30th. Alberta was up 4-1, but yeah, Winnipeg at that. And Alberta, New York from February 21st. New York was up 5-2 and then choked in the third period. Kind of weird. Yeah, the 4-goal comeback. Only one of 2 times that's happened. Anyway, we're going to do a schedule for Saturday. Our first game of the day will be Quebec versus Alberta, the Battle of Canada. Quebec brings Jacques Lemelin, the number 3 goalie, in against Ken Brown. I think Quebec is just basically just mailing it in, and they suck on the road. 3 road wins, only 3. The Oilers are trying to chase for that 2 seed and home ice in the WHA playoffs. Jack Norris, the former Blackhawks and Bruins goalie, the goalie that was traded from Boston to Chicago as one of the players for the one Phil Esposito, which worked out for the Bruins and not for the Hawks. Jacques Lemon, Serge Aubry would be practically the number 1. Richard Brodeur, 10 years before he would become a star for Vancouver, King Richard. Quebec, all these teams are basically French Canadian, so take it with a grain of salt. JC Tremblay, former Hab icon, I've done Montreal with 71 in the Playboy. Michel Perrosseau, Andre Gaudette, Alain Caron, Bobby Goodwin. I think that's Beth Goodwin, right? Oh no, Beth Goodwin spells his name different. Sorry. Rene Leclerc, Jean-Guy Gendron, Jean Payette, Michel Arbajo, Yves Bergeron, Francis Lacombe, Réjean Giroux, Michel Rouleau, Franco Laurensky, Pierre Roy, Michel Harvey, Pierre Guite, Chuck Blaine, Ken Desjardins, Paul LaRose, Guy Defour, Jean-Yves Cartier, Norm Descoutu. The Oilers, soon to become the Edmonton Oilers, Jim Harrison, known for what, 7 assists in 1 game? In real life, I can't remember. Al Hamilton wearing number 3. His number would be retired by the Oilers, even though he never played in the NHL. Ross Perkins, Rossi Pandalut, Ron Walters, Bob Wall, Val Fontaine, a.k.a. Mr. Clean, Eddie Joyle, former King, Bill Hick, former Seal, Brian Carlin, Doug Barry, Ron Anderson, Ken Baird, Bob Falkenberg, Steve Carlisle, Dennis Cassian, Bob McNeely, Bernie Blanchette, Roger Cote, and Sean Fisher. Of course, we talked about the non-goalies. 5 minutes into the game, aggression. 2. Free bear, like a free bird. Free bird. A 16 from Walters and Fontaine. Who knew Fontaine could pass the puck? 5 minutes later. Oilers, Falkenberg? No. 5 more minutes. Back Lacombe will be off for 2. Edmonton defense. Patanute couldn't do anything. Now they can Bill hit. And the Oil drops are up 1-0. They're chasing. Quebec might not make it the playoffs. They can't drop points. They score. Rene Leclerc, his 16th from Tremblay and Parisot. I know that Michel Perrosseau is not related to Chuck Perrosseau, who is the future premier Quebec. 4 minutes later. Penalty, it's Roy for 2. Again. Baird misses a chance. Gaudette? No. No shot from Falkenberg. 3 more minutes. Action for Quebec. Giroux? No. Battle aggression. Microaggression, and it's going to be Guite for 2. Many chances in final score for second from Nick Neely and Hamilton. Is Falkenberg a defenseman? He is a defenseman. Man, he's been on fire with the whole shooting. 17 on the clock. Alain Caron joins the 40-goal club from Parisot and Leclerc. We're tied at 2. Quebec, if they want to chase Philly for 4, if they can't drop points. 3 minutes. Wall-to-wall action. That's Bob Wall, 24th. On Fontaine and Princeton. 2-2. 3 minutes left. Action. Quebec scores. J.C. Tremblay. His 18 from Gaudette and Gendron. We are tied. 3 minutes later. Quebec takes jet ski. Jean Payette. Not as famous as Julie Payette. But he scores his 15 from Gendron and Parisot. 3rd assist from Parisot. Quebec's in trouble. Empty net chances now. Al Hamilton, what a stop by Lemelin. What a stop, and Quebec survives, and the Oilers can't believe it. They lose to the Nordiques. This is only their 4th road win of the year. Quebec wins 4-3. They did their job. Pershall with 3 assists, and the Oilers can't believe their luck. Quebec stinks in. Philly better watch their backs. LA, Cleveland. New York, Chicago. New York crushes Chicago and ruins their playoff chances. And New England wins in overtime over Philly, so that helps Quebec out. The whale helped them out. LA, Cleveland next. Cleveland will bring Jerry Cheevers to the crease against George Gardner, former Canuck. Ross Gillow not playing tonight. I don't know why. To be honest with you, LA's chasing for the playoff spot. Nevertheless, Los Angeles with Gary Fenarusso on the wing, JP LeBlanc, Bart Crashley, former King, Joel Shura, Alton White, Tom Service, Jerry Odrowski, Tom Gilmore, the Pelly leader, Earl Heiskala, Jim Newcamp, Peter Slater, Ralph McSween, Ted McCaskill, Jim Watson before he went to the Flyers, Steve Sutherland, Fred Speck, Mike Heidman, Bernie McNeil, and Howie Hagedal. Cleveland has Ron Buchanan, Gary Jarrett, Jim Weiss, Jerry Pinter, Paul Andraya, Joe Hardy from the Hardy Boys, Paul Schmier, former North Star, Ray Clearwater, Grant Erickson, Rich Pumple, Ted Hodgson, Doug Brindley, Johnny Hanna, Skip Craig, Bill Horton, Bill Dylanbo, Wayne Malloy, Rob Hapiori, Jim McMasters, and Al Rycroft. 3 minutes later. Jerry, 22nd. Hardy and Pinter. I know I would probably say something else, but I can't say it. And it's going to be Sutherland. And you risk upon a star. Jim West with 27 straight. Makes it 2-0 Cleveland. No hit. Love you. Ellie Skillers, Fenarusso, da-da-da-da-da. His 54 from Service and Sura. 2-1. Jared does it again. 43rd, second of the night. 1 3 minutes later, Jim Wist tried to make it 4, but can't. Last moment. Clearwater stopped by Gardner. Clearwater thought he had made it 4-1 and given Minnesota some hope. But no. Trying to kill the clock, but LA scores. What a service. Tom Service, his 7 from Niekamp and Hindman. Makes it 3-2. 4 minutes later. A fight. Peter Slater and Paul Schmier. It actually helps LA because Schmier is a good defenseman. Cleveland West? Oh. So no damage from other side because of that. And Cleveland still has that 3-2 lead. Cleveland still has the lead on LA. 4 minutes later. Action for Pumple? No. 3 minutes later. Cleveland West gets hit, but he still shoots. Kill the clock. They don't. And LA scores. Happy Gilmore, his 21st from Crashley and Fenarusso. Who says Gilmore can't score? He's just a goon. He ain't a goon. Cleveland has a chance. LA will be licking their wounds. The Fighting Saints will be giving a gift basket if they win. And LA is out. Cleveland wins 5-3. Cheevers does his job. And Jarrett with 2 goals. Pinder with 3. Oh, I thought he scored the hat trick. I guess I screwed up. I hope people didn't throw the hats on the ice. Sunday night, Houston beats New York, and Ottawa Winnipeg ties. What does this mean after this week? Well, wait, what's the last game? April the 1st. So there's still 2 more weeks. The standings now are Cleveland and New England are 1-2. New York's played 74 games, the most in the WHA. That might catch up to them sooner. Philly does have 3 games in hand on New York. Quebec's only 9 back with 14 possible points, 7 games left. So Quebec really needs to win. Ottawa is not going to make it. Ottawa, well, that tie doesn't help matters. They are out. They can't They're 14 back of fourth place. And because they play 72 games, 12 points. No. Chicago's got 7 games left, so 14 points. They're 10 back. Chicago still has a small chance. LA leads Minnesota by 4 points, but Minnesota does have 2 games in hand. Alberta has 2 games in hand on Winnipeg for second place. Well, let's see, 73. This one's up by 14. Yeah. So win all the games 87. So Houston, yeah, because Winnipeg 10. Yep. Houston can't be caught in the West. Cleveland can still be caught, but Houston can't be caught for the West. So they're the 1 seed. LA, Minnesota will probably be fighting for the 4 seed. Winnipeg, Alberta for the 2 seed. What's the clock saying on us? 15 minutes. Well, let's autoplay till Sunday. We're going to do one video where it's going to be like the final week. The 25th. Okay, so Cleveland, Houston means nothing. Minnesota, Ottawa does mean something. Alberta, Quebec. Well, I haven't done an Ottawa game yet. Yeah, we haven't done an Ottawa game yet. So LA beats Chicago, Houston beats Cleveland, Alberta beats Quebec, and New York beats Winnipeg. So let's do Minnesota, Ottawa because the game might not be important for Ottawa, but they're trying to help Los Angeles out. Minnesota's 9 games below 500. Ottawa's been pathetic. Jill Scraton versus Mike Curran. Here we go. 4 minutes into the game. Wayne Carleton. Fuck. It's a penalty. Riedman. No shot by Ottawa. No shot by Ottawa. They're trying to ruin Minnesota's chances. For Hampson. Give me a Jack Gibson. Olin and Carlton, who can pass the puck. 4 minutes later, aggression and a fight. It's going to be John Arbor and Jack Gibson. Speaking of Gibson. But they took Minnesota out of play because now they're down to 5 defensemen. Okay, Sanders scores. He doesn't catch a pass for a touchdown. Future Arizona Cardinals legend. From Lily Holman, Wayne Connolly. We are tied at 1. The Carlton dance. That's 50. It's unusual for a 50-goal scorer being on a losing team. It's not unusual. Well, but gets the PK reduced. Riedman for 2. But they score on the power play. Bradley Sturt. There's that Stevenson trying to ruin Minnesota's chances. McMillan for 2. Other scores again. The Carlton dance for the second time. Put McCartan in the net. Might need him. Split. They're in trouble. They're in danger. Four to 1. They got to put McCartan in the net. They're desperate. Another fight. Arbor gets into another fight with Dick Sentis. That actually works out for Ottawa because, again, Minnesota will be down to 5 defensemen. But they score. Wayne Connolly, his 42nd from Clyden Christensen makes it 4 to 2. They're trying to score. Okay. No fight. No fight. One Carlton does the Carlton dance. The shot closed. Ottawa 5 to 2. And they do. They spoil Minnesota. Curran can't believe it that the Ottawa Nationals, the worst team in the WHA, wins the game. So what does that do for the standings right now? It means this. Well, we know Quebec, 4 games left. Quebec can't catch an Ottawa. So Quebec and Ottawa are out of the East. Philly still has a bit of a chance to catch third. And well, New England's got only 5 games left. They're 8 back. They still have a little bit of a chance, but Cleveland almost has first place sewn up. New England's got second sewn up, I think. New York and Philly will be fighting for third in the fight to face New England. In the West, Houston's won the West. Alberta leads Winnipeg by 2 points. They both have 3 games left. Minnesota is 7 back with 3 games left. They can't catch. 74 for 69. 71. So Minnesota and Chicago are out. So Minnesota can't catch. So that loss actually ruined them. Ottawa helped LA get to the playoffs. Ottawa's fought. Well, Los Angeles only has 1 game left, so they are fourth. They'll face Houston. Alberta and Winnipeg will face each other. The question is, who's the 2? Who's the 3? Who gets home ice? We will keep an eyeball on the rest because we kind of have to, because it's kind of complicated. Like playoff positioning might go down to the final day. It might. It just might. Anyhow, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.